Good evening, I'm Camden Cohn, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the 1890 Initiative. Late last night, the Nebraska men's basketball team came back from down as many as 19 points to defeat the 6th-ranked Wisconsin Badgers 80-72. The Huskers were led by C.J. Wilcher as he had tied his career high with 22 points, including 5 3-pointers, and Rink Mast added 20 points in the upset. After the win, Coach Hoiberg spoke to the media, talked about how proud of the team he was in the second half.
And we jumped them at halftime. I mean, that's about as animated as I've been at a halftime. And, to their credit, they came out and responded. And that's what it's all about. You got to find a way to bounce back when things aren't going your way. We have not done that in the road at all. We're not going to have 15,000 behind us when we go to Champaign in a couple days. So we got to find a way on the road to generate that same type of energy when things aren't going well. As I've said, we've gone the other way when things have gotten tough. And, we're going to have to find a way, and hopefully this gives us some confidence to know that we can do it.
The Huskers will be back in action Sunday at 5:30 in Champaign against Illinois, with pregame starting at 4:30 on the HRN. In other Husker news, Nebraska women's soccer coach John Walker has received a contract extension through the 2027 season. Athletic Director Trev Alberts had this to say on Coach Walker, quote, "We are fortunate to have a leader like Coach Walker in charge of our soccer program. John and his team had a remarkable season in 2023, reaching the Elite Eight and earning a share of the Big Ten Conference Championship. His teams play with toughness, tenacity, and teamwork, which is a testament to his leadership." End quote. Former Husker player and coach Barrett Ruud has been named the inside linebackers coach of the Atlanta Falcons. Ruud coached linebackers at Nebraska from 2018 to 2022, and he joins new head coach Raheem Morris in Atlanta. Finally, just one men's basketball game tonight in the Big Ten. They're just underway in Iowa City as the Hawkeyes host Ohio State. Our sports ticker is sponsored by the 1890 Initiative. Do you want to support Husker student athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com. Hour 1 of Sports Nightly up next, right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
It's Williams, a drop step, reverse layup with a left hand, and Mast is just dissecting Edey early in this game.
Deep left wing, Jazz Shelley to take the lead. You betcha! Shelley bombed a triple from the left wing and a big red lead at 36-34.
On the right side to Hoiberg, right to left, top of the circle, reverses it off the throw. CJ, 3 is good! Got it! Bang! A rag! CJ Wilcher is on fire!
Goes off the bounce, goes behind her back, works foul line, Potts for 3, top of the key. You betcha! Natalie Potts, the Big Ten freshman of the week with a triple.
15 on the shot clock. Now he comes to the left side after spinning away from Barry. High post on a pop out to Mast. 9 on the shot clock. The handoff on the shot by Tominaga. Got it! Got it! Bang! 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 They say Tominaga.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
In the hands of Alec down the floor. It's Lawrence, drives the ball, takes the hit and finishes. Fouled by Winter. 3-point play chance for Lawrence, who has 4 points already. 4 of Nebraska's 8. High post Gary comes left against Blackwell, powers it up and in, and an and one for Jawan Gary. Back after 3 games on the shelf because of an injury. And that cuts it to 10, my friends, at 27-17. Williams, left corner. Wilcher got a good look. Got it! 3 ball, deep left corner. C.J. Wilcher, his 39th 3 of the year. 46% from distance this year. Another CBA 3 cuts it to 9. Brings the ball up the floor himself. Chest pass across the timeline. Wilcher with a heat check 40-footer. Got it! Got it! Got it! Got it! Got it! And the Huskers cut it to 7. And a huge, humongous, gigantic 3 ball.
And a turnover.
Wisconsin throws it away. They threw that puppy away. And the crowds go on buzz-honkers. On the sideline in the passing lane was Hoiberg. Tried to take it away from Blackwell. Blackwell well controls it. In the passing lane is Alec. Flips it inbounds. Alec on the floor for it. Flips to Hoiberg. Nebraska down by 6. Hoiberg spins in the paint. Puts it up and in. Puts that puppy up and in. And we've got a 4-point game. Wisconsin by 2 with the ball, under 9 to go. The drive by Storr knocked away by Nebraska. Getting a hand on it was Jawan Gary. Wilcher scoops it up now to Williams across the timeline. Williams to the trailing Wilcher. Fumbled it, got it back. Drives to the baseline, 15-footer up. Got it! We got a tie ball game! Brand new game, 52 apiece. Gary on the elbows, the inbound pass to Mast. Mast up top against Crowell. Pivots right, finds Hoiberg. 18 on the shot clock. A minute 11 on the game clock. Nebraska down by 3. The pump fake by Mast. Step back 3 on the way. Got it! Holy smokes! Holy cow! The Flying Dutchman with a big 3 to tie it at 65. Missed shot by Chucky. And there's the ball game. The Huskers win it. Final score in overtime. Nebraska 80, Wisconsin 72. And another court storming. Storm that court. Just storm that puppy.
The practices that we had, the physicality that we showed the last 3 days, I thought that paid off. I thought that gave us a little bit of toughness, not only physically but mentally. We got after our guys, and we got after them at halftime. I mean, that's about as animated as I've been in a halftime locker room. And again, they went out and responded. You got to give them all the credit in the world for going out there and doing what we needed to do. Bryce Williams ran the show for us and knocked down his free throws after not making them in the first half. But just, top to bottom, I'm really proud of this group right now.
Oh, boy, what a night. I know a lot of people have not done much today because they've just been replaying that second half in their mind. A huge win for the Huskers. What a fun night and a loud night at PBA as Nebraska upsets number 6 Wisconsin. That was a blast.
Can we somehow make Storm That Baby t-shirts?
Oh, I'm sure there are going to be
hats.
some. There's probably going to be some made of that. Yeah.
Oh, what a great final call, and it was fun to listen. They were just kind of almost out of words, but unbelievable. I mean, there was part of me, most of the time with this team, if they get down, I always think they can come back because of the way they can score. But there was a part of me last night I was a little bit worried because it was Wisconsin, and Wisconsin is hard to come back on. But to me, that win was even more impressive than what they did against Purdue. Even though Purdue is ranked higher, but you could argue that Wisconsin's the harder team and just how hard they are to guard. And I don't know, in the way that they had to fight back and they did it without Casey. To me, I think that probably was the most impressive win of the season so far.
The Purdue game, Nebraska led a lot.
Yeah.
You kind of felt like Nebraska's in control. Can they hang on?
Right.
This one, we didn't have the lead until the last minute of the game. And Jessica, and I said this to Colin and Camden when I got in here a little bit ago. I said, I can't remember a game that was that big of a contrast from one half to the other. Nebraska looked dead in the water. They looked slow, getting out on shooters. That little sloppy possession, 2 possessions at the end of the half where they just kind of lob passes that Chucky Hepburn picked off and laid in. But then, and even the first 4 minutes of the second half, it was kind of more of the same. And then CJ hit a shot, then hit another one, then Bryce hits one. And then it just steamrolled from there.
Well, and they locked in defensively, too. And Jawan played really well and was really able to do some big-time things on the defensive end, which is what he really is. I mean, that is just – I know he scored a lot at times this season, but really the most important thing that he provides for this team is what he can do on the defensive end and his toughness and his grit. And Coach Hoiberg, it was funny because CJ mentioned it, but I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall.
Oh, baby, yeah.
To hear what happened at halftime because he got onto him. And you and I talked about that, I think it was yesterday, about how he has not been afraid to challenge this team because he knows what they're capable of. And so we've seen him kind of call them out or challenge them in a way that I haven't seen since I've been here from Fred Hoiberg. And so, he knows how to motivate them, get them going, and they certainly responded in the second half. And just cannot say enough about C.J. Wilcher and how he's playing. It's just, the other night we were talking about this about Rink Mast that was like throwing the ball into the ocean. It's the best feeling in the world if you're a shooter, and that's what C.J. obviously felt last night. But again, every single night, it seems like he's just got more and more confidence. And the way that he was able to spur that run last night, and then people started believing, that his teammates on the court started believing, well, if he's going to score like that, then we can get in on the action. And I love what Coach Hoiberg told Jake and Kent in his postgame, but just about how they were finding the hot hand. You could tell they were looking to get him the ball however they could. And so that's what I appreciate the most about this team, is that they do want to spread the ball. They want to share it. They want to pass it, and they want to find whoever can help them. Whoever's the hot guy that night, they're going to try to get him the ball.
I put it this way earlier today. CJ was responsible for the comeback. Rink was, to me, responsible for the win in the end.
Yeah.
He then started making shots. And then to your point that everybody else is like, well, he's got to go on. I better jump in here and make that happen. You mentioned Juwan Gary. I don't always love the plus-minus category. I think that can be deceiving at times. But Juwan Gary's was plus 21 last time when he was on the court. So he was a difference maker, even though he only scored 9 points, but he locked down Storr more in the second half. They limited his touches and his production in the second half of the game. It was giant to get him back. And Coach Hoiberg told Kent before the game, he goes, yeah, we're going to play Juwan. He won't play more than 30 minutes. Let me see. He played 33 minutes last night in the overtime game.
He takes that as a challenge, and I think he really takes offense if someone is going off on this team. I mean, I've had this conversation with Coach Linzer, who's in charge of the defensive scout every single day, and he kind of, we talked about it on the air, but then he kind of alluded to this off camera too, just chatting about Juwan. And he's the defensive captain, and he takes it personally when guys can score at ease against Nebraska. And then I think his teammates around him really feed off of him. And once he got the challenge of, hey, you got to stop this guy from scoring, I think he was like, yep, I got you, I will do that. And that, it was just so huge. It's easy to point out CJ, it's easy to point out Rink, but you also got to tip your hat to Fred Hoiberg and the coaching job that he did, and not just last night, but what he's done with this group all along, because of the confidence that he instills in his guys to keep shooting no matter what. I think maybe Rink doesn't step up there and shoot some of those with confidence if they're not, that culture and belief is not put in place from the moment they step on campus with this coaching staff. No, we want you to shoot, and you want you to shoot with confidence no matter how it's going for you in the game. You keep having that confidence to pull the trigger.
I'm also going to point out two guys that their box score doesn't look impressive, but they made unbelievably huge hustle plays during the comeback. Josiah, diving out of bounds, flipped the ball back in to save, possession. And then Sam had a couple of pokeaways. Sam ended up with 3 steals in the game. Those little things helped CJ make a shot, or helped in the building that comeback. And that's what it takes. It takes guys doing their roles. And Joe and Sam both did that really well.
I think at this point, you'd be hard to find a player in the country that does that more than Sam Hoiberg, right?
I agree.
Every single big win, we're saying that. There might have been somebody else that lit up the scoreboard, but he just makes game-winning plays. And I think that's the challenge at Coach Hoiberg. And, he says to the bench, and when they're coming in, hey, make those game-winning plays. And Sam has taken that challenge on. He loves that. He loves that role, and he embraces that role. And he's not a guy that cares if he scores 20 a game. But he just continues to impact the game over and over. And then, that play that Josiah made, those types of plays sometimes can create more momentum than even knocking down a big 3. And so and that's what this team, Coach Hoiberg has wanted this team, win those 50-50 balls, make those kinds of plays. Because of that right there, those are the types of plays that can make a difference between you winning or losing a basketball game.
Big time win, second top 10 win of the year. That hasn't happened at Nebraska in 10 years, 2013-14 season, which, by the way, was the last time Nebraska was in the NCAA tournament. And it's the first time Nebraska has beaten 2 teams ranked inside the top 6 since 1957, when Jerry Bush, Fred Hoiberg's grandpa, was the head coach. So it all kind of flows together. But those are 2 giant wins. Those are huge resume wins. And yet, I saw Lenardi today. He's got him as the last 4 in. I mean, I don't know why the margin on this team is so slim. And I know the non-con wasn't great, but the only loss in the non-con was to Creighton, who's ranked in the top 20.
And they've got some impressive wins.
They do.
And I was going to actually ask you this. So 9 games left in the regular season, 4 at home, 5 on the road. Say Nebraska wins every game at home. How many road wins do you think? Because how many at this point do you think they need to have on that resume?
I think if they have 21 total wins going to the Big Ten tournament.
Even not on the road.
Well, you only have 4 at home, so that only gets you to 20.
Oh, yeah, true.
So if you get to 21, and then if you win a game in Minneapolis, I think they're a shoo-in.
Yeah.
They have to be. I just don't know how you can just dismiss beating number 1 Purdue and number 6 Wisconsin. Everybody loves both those teams, and they're both really good. There's a reason why people like those teams a lot. But the next two are really hard. I mean, Illinois is a tough matchup, and it's a quick turnaround. It's a Sunday game. Nebraska probably didn't even really practice today. They might have watched some film, but that was a hard game, overtime game last night. They'll travel tomorrow, so that's going to be tough. And then, Northwestern wants revenge after losing in Lincoln a couple of weeks ago. So these are tough. But there's some winnable road games. You go to Michigan, Indiana's beatable on their home court. Ohio State's beatable on their home court. There's some wins coming up for this team. But I do think it would be helpful, Jessica, to win at least one of those road games.
To me, though, how the eye test should play into this.
Agreed.
And how can you... Every other college basketball analyst, no matter the network that they're on, are saying that this is no doubt an NCAA tournament team. It's not even if they're in, it's how high they can go in their seeding. You watch this team, and when they're at their best, if you watch them play at Pinnacle Bank Arena, I don't know how you can say that they're not an NCAA tournament team. So that's my big thing is, okay, whatever you want to say about the strength of schedule, all that, watch them play.
Yeah.
And what they did last night, they did it without Keisei Tominaga, really making much. He had 2 points. So
that's 3 straight games that Keisei's really been a non-factor.
Yeah. But it just goes to show you how deep this team is.
Yep.
And I think most of the people from the outside, if you would have told them that Keisei would have struggled and they would have won that game, they would have said, that's not happening, But I just, there's enough depth, which you and I have been talking about. There's enough depth. There's enough people that can score the basketball on this team that if Rink has an off night, if Keisei has an off night, if somebody has an off night, they've got other guys that can supplement that scoring.
And Jessica Rink was having an off night.
Yeah.
And ends up with 20. He ends up 2 of 8 on threes. So I think he made 2 of his last 3. So he was probably 0 of 6.
That's what I
0
thought.
of 5
I
at
don't
one
think
point
he
in
had
time.
a 3 until late in the game. Yeah.
And the step back one again. He did that against Purdue with a step back. Those are not easy shots.
But that's what I'm going about him taking that shot with confidence, because they are told, hey, you shoot the ball when you've got that look, or I know it was at the end of the shot clock, but that's what Coach Hoiberg does, and that's why guys want to come play for him, because he instills that kind of confidence. He wants guys to have confidence when they shoot the basketball.
I loved his pass to Juwan in overtime on kind of a backdoor cut. Terrific feed from Rink. Rink ended up with 3 assists. So he's so good at that. He's maybe not quite as good as Derek Walker was from the high post as a passer, but he's not bad. And he made a terrific, and Jawan had a great cut. That kind of gave Nebraska some separation in overtime. And Nebraska's defense was way better in the last 20 minutes and 25 minutes of the overtime than it was in the first half. That's a big part of it, too.
Oh, absolutely. And that's Coach Hoiberg said that. He said it in his post game. Our offense is the best when we're feeding off the defense. And they can get stagnant a little bit. And so when they're being aggressive and they're pushing the pace and they're kind of playing off of that, that's when they're at their best. And that's what they got back to there in the second half.
16-6, 6-5 now is the league record at Illinois Sunday afternoon, then at Northwestern next Wednesday. So in that 2-game stretch, which really kind of tells you how big last night's game was, because you lose to Maryland, you look like you're going to get beat last night, down 19 at one point, and then with these 2 tough road ones coming up, I think we're going to look back and go, whew, boy, thank goodness they pulled that one out.
And they're going to need both of these wins on their resume.
I agree.
But to me, I think the Wisconsin win was more impressive than the Purdue win. Just with the comeback. And with how Wisconsin's playing, and, because they needed it, because of that right there, because they had a couple of losses and then you got a couple of road games. To me, that was the biggest win of the season last night.
And boy, did the students make a difference. They
Absolutely.
weren't here for Purdue.
Yeah.
They were still on break. It was so much louder in there last night than the Purdue game. And the court storm was that you couldn't find a spot open on the floor.
Here's my question, though. Now that you've done it, at what point now is it you're expected to win those games?
Yeah, there should be no more home games of the court storm this year, because they're playing teams that they should be able to beat.
Yeah. Because at some point, when you start winning those games, you gotta.
I was okay with it last night. I
Me too.
because
Me too.
of the comeback
and overtime and Wisconsin. It's a bit of a rival, and just the history there. Absolutely, I was okay with it. But I think
that's it.
Yeah.
Because it's it's going to be Michigan and Rutgers and Penn State. Those are the home games left. That's not going to merit that at all. Jim in Columbus says, what a great basketball game to listen to yesterday, but a great broadcaster, Kent Pavelka. And Jake, any more games like that, and Kent better keep his cardiologist next to him. It's going to end for Kent on the air. He's just going to explode. He's going to. I've been telling you guys that for years ago. He's just going to, right there. And I tell you what, he'd go, sign me up. I'll take that.
I think it's hilarious how brutally honest he is about the season's going to kill me. And, he just like, oh my God. It's great. It's just, he tells it how he's feeling, and it's fantastic. But yeah, I'm sure he has the issue with the watch that sometimes if his heart rate gets too high, it goes into emergency alert. And Jake had told us the other day, I think it was I don't know which one it was, maybe Indiana, that he had to take it off in the middle of it. And so I'm sure he had to take it off last night.
Oh my gosh.
I think it's gotten to the point now where certain games he just has to, you got to go without that.
Well, I think he was fine in the first half.
Yeah, but I think once it started, he probably had to lose it at some point.
Ratcheted it up. In the chat room, 4 hours to Lincoln is asking, if we win a first 4 game, would that count as our first tournament win? Heck yeah, it would. But this team ain't going to be in the first 4. They're going to be higher than that. They're going to, trust me, they're not going to be in that first 4 in
Mark
Dayton,
it down right
in
here.
Dayton, yeah. Calling my shot on that one. All right, we got another Friday night of kind of a smorgasbord of sports. We're going to hear from Lenny Pinto, Husker wrestlers, having a great year. We'll hear from him. The Huskers have a home duel Sunday afternoon against Illinois. Love to have a good crowd at Devaney for that. We're also going to check in on your Wednesday women's podcast. What was the topic this week?
Yeah, so excited. It was a great conversation. Jolene Emricson, who's a longtime trainer, she just finished up season number 23 with Husker volleyball.
Wow.
She's got such a great perspective of seeing, like, Coach Cook, her job wasn't a full-time job, and it was a GA position. But kind of what we've heard and seen from Coach Cook along the way throughout his career, he fought for that to be a full-time position and wanting to have that consistency. But just great perspective, great stories, hearing about her, how she viewed this past season. So many good things to get into that I'm excited for you guys to hear.
Good. We'll hear that in hour 2. We'll also hear from Chuck Chmelka, the Husker men's gymnastics coach. They have their home opener tomorrow night at this time at the Devaney Center against Penn State. So busy weekend here. And we want to hear from you, 402-413-2400. That is our Woodhouse Auto Family Hotline. They are your trusted auto partner, 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. We're back to talk a little grappling, a little wrestling. We'll do that next.
That's the best way I could describe how it felt for me when I would walk out of either the casino or the Keno parlor, is that you just felt that wave of heat, that wave of oppression kind of hit you, that wave of dread.
Mike is a former problem gambler.
Right away, you would always know that that drive home would be the worst moments of why. Why did I do this again? Why can't I stop this?
Help for problem gambling is free for Nebraskans and their families at lifeafterbet.com.
Get ready to rule the field and revolutionize your farming game with Valley, the game changer in irrigation and ag tech solutions. With time and labor-saving measures, ground-truthing results, and effective input reduction, Valley provides the perfect game plan so you stay ahead of what's in the field. From the best in irrigation and cutting-edge ag tech solutions to personalized support, Valley is your winning team. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
Woodhouse has got you covered for your next car, truck, or SUV. We are committed to making the car buying and owning experience better, thanks to our knowledgeable sales staff and factory certified technicians. You can discover our large inventory of new and pre-owned vehicles anytime at woodhouse.com, where we have made buying a car easier than ever. Whether you need a family hauling SUV, a car to take you around town, or a hard-working truck, Woodhouse has something for everyone.
Life is busy. Wouldn't it be great if someone could help you manage your insurance?
Well, I do have a lot to keep on top of. Between the house, my life insurance, the car. Like you said, life is busy.
A local Trusted Choice independent insurance agent can help you with your research, coverage selection, pricing, and claims at no extra cost to you.
Which means I'll have more time to spend on other things.
Trusted Choice independent insurance agents. We'll help do your insurance. You just do you.
Blue
Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska exists to be there with you. From the first bell to final exams, they are rooting for the schools and teachers who make our communities great. Throughout the year, Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska and Nebraska Athletics will be honoring outstanding educators who help Nebraska's students reach their potential. If there's a teacher you want to recognize for the impact they've made in your community, find a nomination form at huskers.com/teachers.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks to help grow businesses, communities, families, a legacy of capability and technology that's made Ford F-Series America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. This is the next generation of Built Ford Tough.
Now, get 1.9% financing for 72 months on a new 2023 Ford F-150 only at your Midwest Ford dealers. Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Maybe your hometown celebrates long-standing Swiss traditions. Cow chip throwing. Or even classic car muscle. Everyone has a hometown, and every hometown has a festival. Cenex wants to hear about yours. That's why we're launching the Hometown Throwdown. Tell us about your fest, and it could win $100,000. Learn more at CenexHometownThrowdown.com. Cenex, powered locally.
Farming today is a combination of hard work, innovation, and partnerships to help keep us moving forward. Sapp Brothers Petroleum has provided us with fuel, propane, and lubricants on the farm for many years.
For over 52 years, Sapp Brothers has been a reliable partner to thousands of farmers across our great state. We work hard to make sure our customers have the most reliable supply, provided in the safest manner and at the most competitive price. Trust Sapp Brothers Petroleum to protect your equipment and keep your farm fueled. Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics and to serve Nebraska farmers and Husker fans across America's heartland.
Start your next journey with Woodhouse. Our commitment extends beyond just selling cars. We offer an unparalleled car buying experience that allows you to shop and buy all online. Explore an array of new brands, makes, and models, as well as our large selection of pre-owned vehicles. And it's easy to get started today with our streamlined purchasing process online, granting you the freedom to secure your next vehicle anytime, anywhere. Discover a better way to buy with Woodhouse.
Hey, Mom. Yeah, I got in a crash. I'm okay. I was wearing my seatbelt.
People count on you to buckle up. Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Hey Huskers, it's a new day in Nebraska. Manzer Equipment, Mertz Farm Equipment, and West Point Implement of Columbus have teamed up as True Ag and Turf. Coach Rule is bringing innovation and high-performance standards to Husker football, and True Ag is doing the same to your farm with game-changing Fendt equipment. As Big Red establishes power on the field, True Ag and Turf does the same in the field by welcoming Fendt to Nebraska.
I just remember leaving that day feeling absolutely exhausted. I was sick and tired of living that double life.
Mike is a former problem gambler.
The anxiety, the depression is real. You start thinking about the money, where that could have went to. It's never enough. I could win $10 million today, and I'd go back and try to win 20 tomorrow.
Help for problem gambling is free for Nebraskans and their families at lifeafterbet.com.
The Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Husker Wrestling will be home Sunday to take on the Fighting Illini. Lenny Pinto, who wrestles at 184, has had a tremendous season for the Big Red, and Jessica had a chance to catch up with Lenny.
We talked to several of your teammates over the last year, but you were one we hadn't gotten in studio, so we're glad to kind of get to know you, and it's been fun watching you so far over these last couple of years. But I wanted to start at the beginning, your recruiting process. How did you land on Nebraska?
So, back to the beginning, what happened? So my coach grew up in Easton, my high school coach, and Doc Snyder, our head assistant coach, also went to Easton. So there was already like a initial connection, and one day I had called Coach just to get in contact with them because just being from the area, he just wanted to get in touch with me. So I gave him a call, and we just started talking, and nothing even about school at all. It was just kind of like, what's up, like how you doing, just like a introduction kind of. And then I got to know him. He just told me like a little bit about himself, and just that he was impressed with my wrestling, and that he just thought it was cool that we were from the same area. And then he mentioned Mike, obviously, about how Mike went out there from the East Coast, and he loved it out here, and just a cool environment, and really just like a getting to know each other kind of thing. And then not until like my official visit and then my home visit did we actually like get deeper into it. But I remember when I first made the call to him, because my high school coach told me to call him, and I went back to history class, I think it was in high school, and I was like, yo, Nick, bro, like I just called up like Nebraska. I was like, I mean, I probably won't go there, but like that was cool. And like, so that was just like a funny like beginning to it. But because at first like I didn't think I was gonna end up here. But
so how'd you end up here then?
So I took my official visit, and they just gave me a tour of everything, and like I met the team, and I would say Coach Manning and Coach Snyder were for sure like the two components of like why I came here, just because they were so genuine and like just like really heartfelt, you know, and like really interested in like my well-being after college and during college, and not just like come to school, help us like have a better team. Like it wasn't just about that. It was about like bringing me here to find growth, get a good education, and then be successful like after college. So I thought that was cool that they really cared about that and not just like the whole wrestling factor.
Love that. You were a state champion in the state of Pennsylvania, but how did you get into wrestling in the first place?
So I grew up with two older brothers, Paulie and David, and well, David's 10 years older, Paulie's 5 years older, and I got two sisters too, Gabrielle and Maria, and they all did sports, and I was a baby at 5, so I mean, they played football, they wrestled, and then eventually, like, I was just a rough kid, and they were like, well, like, let's get him into wrestling too, because my brothers were already doing it, and, you know, I was just big into, like, horseplay, like, my brothers and stuff, just always fighting around the house, and then once I got into wrestling, like, once I started getting kind of good at it, like, I started to enjoy it, and then I don't know, just like one thing led to another, and I ended up like just like being pretty good as a kid from just being rougher than like the other guys. And then I just fell in love with it, and then very shortly into my career, at like 7 years old, like 6 years old, I was already doing like club practices with like high intensity and like traveling all around the country at like a really young age. So just being into it like that deep at such a young age kind of just carried on.
So being that you're the baby and you had such athletic family, did that drive your competitiveness and
oh, for sure,
and the athlete that you are today?
Yeah, for sure. Like my brothers and stuff, just I don't know, just trying to be like the best that I could be, you know.
Does it probably help too? Like, hey, I'm not really scared of anybody because I grew up matching up against older brothers all the time.
Yeah, no, I was definitely not scared of nobody at my young age, for sure.
It's awesome. Well, you came here and last year you had the injury, and then you came here and sat out, and then made a huge splash last year. Coach Manning had talked about how a lot of maybe what you worked on between last year and this year was the mental part of it. Yeah. How much was that an adjustment for you, coming from where you came from in high school and just learning the collegiate part of it and the mental part of wrestling?
I would say the mental part wasn't too much of like a switch up for me, honestly, just because of like the competitive factor that I had in high school, and like just traveling all around and like doing big time tournaments and stuff like that, and just being like really in depth in it already. Like, I was already competing on high stages and, like, in high-pressure moments. Like, I kind of knew what it was like. But, like, obviously, like, there was a slight change because it's just a bigger field, like, a bigger stage. So, I mean, wrestling in the Big Ten, like the whole toughest conference in the country for wrestling, I definitely had to, like, prepare myself that there was going to be a lot bigger moments than I ever lived before. So, like, I was as prepared, like, as much as I could be. But, obviously, I just had to go with the flow and just, like, I just had to just adjust like as time went on, because you can't really prepare for something so big without being in that moment yet, you know?
Yeah. Coach is saying that you had a bad taste left in your mouth after the NCAAs last year.
Yeah.
How did that fuel you? What were some of the things that you closed last season and thought, okay, I got to work on going into this season?
So last season, you know, I was a lot more of a gunslinger, and like I might still be so, but I think I wrestle a lot more, how do I put this? Like a lot more like mature at this stage. Like I take responsibility of like keeping like strong discipline in like all the small moments, Like, I try to stay in good position for 7 minutes. I try to stay disciplined, like, just stay in the right position. And, yeah, like, I just try not to be too, like, wild and flanky, you know?
I like that term, gunslinger, because it's a perfect way to describe it. Where does that style come from for you? I mean, because it's exciting, though. Fans like to watch that type of style and fireworks.
I mean, I guess, like, from young, like, I just, like, so, like, my first big move ever was a headlock. And, like, I loved it because it was, like, you know, like, you grab the guy, you throw him, and then match is over if, like, you get the pin. And I just fell in love with that. Like, what if I could hit a big move and then end the match and just get off the mat early? So I just kept trying to do that kind of stuff through high school. And then I got into freestyle a little bit. And then, I don't know, I just found the love for throwing people. That was something I really enjoyed.
That's incredible. So it's more so been about balancing, like, when to go all gunslinger mode and when to balance maybe being more refined in your wrestling.
Yeah, really picking and choosing, like, when to do it, you know, because in college, like, at this level, you can't just throw out big moves and expect every single one to work.
Right.
And, like, if you make a small mistake, like, these guys are going to capitalize on it. So, like, it's really important to make the right decision, like the smart decision, and not make any dumb decisions out here because it'll catch you.
So I saw a cool picture. You'd won a state title for your high school back in Pennsylvania, and you and I think a high school teammate, were riding into the town on the fire truck.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us about that story and just kind of what that meant to your hometown.
It was a really, really cool experience. So Jake Jacobson was the first state champion ever out of my high school and my whole town, and that was a big thing, like, in itself. So when me and my buddy Patrick did it, he took second that year, and it was this really cool experience because, like, we had our friends and family there waiting for us, and, like, just on top of the fire truck, it just felt like a whole circle kind of moment, you know? Like a lot of hard work, and being a PA state champ is kind of something that, like, a lot of guys, like, dream of, like, at like a young age. Like, they don't, like, that's, like, the first big thing that, like, they want to do is, like, win PA states. And just having that moment for me was just big because I was chasing it for a while.
What went into that to finally getting that accomplished?
You know, just believing in the process, just, like, staying true to my training and staying confident and having a mentality of one match at a time, and that nobody was that far ahead of me and that someone's going to win it, so why not be me, you know?
Yeah, I love that. So you had an injury, and then you had an injury here. First of all, what did it mean to you that this coaching staff stuck with you through the recruiting process, even despite the injury, that they still wanted to have you come here and be a Cornhusker?
It meant a lot. It showed that they had a lot of trust in me and, like, a lot of faith. And just the fact that they had that confidence in me honestly gave me more confidence because, you know, after a year of not wrestling and, like, having ACL and then coming to school here for only 4 months, like, while I was here, and I tweaked it a few times, and then the doc told me I had a fully blown torn ACL. And they were immediately, like, supportive. Like, they got me into surgery 5 days later. And our trainer, Tyler Weeda, you know, he's the best in the business. And just nonstop support. And, like, there was times during my my recovery process where I was like, because I think that's the toughest part is, like, going through rehab and going through recovery and, like, the mentality part of it. Because, like, there was times when I was like, you know, like, what if I'm not the same wrestler I was when I used to be because it was 2 years prior, and just all these, like, negative thoughts. But having them by my side really helped keep my thoughts up and my positivity.
Yeah, I was going to say, how hard is that process, and what were some of the biggest things you learned having to fight through it?
Definitely tough. I think something I learned was trusting the people around you that have the knowledge and the experience of what you're going through, because I didn't have the knowledge and they did, so I just trusted them and kept my faith in them. And I think discipline with doing the things you're supposed to do and not skipping days, because I know a lot of people that go through rehab for injuries and, like, they don't have the best rehab and they only do it maybe 2-3 times a week, and then, like, the whole recovery process gets extended and maybe it doesn't work as well. But for me, I was going 7 days a week, just working on flexibility and just doing something every single day to, like, work on my knee. And I just felt the progress coming along quick. So I think, like, just, like, staying to a tight regimen really helps.
So last year when you start making waves and you start catching people's attention, how fun was it for you to be in front of Husker Nation here inside Devaney and hear those loud cheers?
It was awesome. It was very welcoming. It showed that I had a strong support system like I did back home, so it just made this place feel like a little bit more like home. And it was a big growth experience for me because I didn't wrestle in, like, 2.5, 3 years. So for me, it was like I was just, like, coming back into the field of things, you know, and I was proving to myself really that I still had it and that I still got all the abilities that I used to have. So it was really encouraging for me, honestly.
You know, we've talked
going forward.
Yeah, we've talked to a lot of your teammates, and it seems like a really close group.
Yeah.
But they're a lot older than you,
Yeah.
especially last year's team. And so how has that been for you being one of the younger guys in the lineup the last couple of years, and how have they helped you along?
So I could say that it has been different, but also like really not like a difference at all because, like you said, like it's definitely like a little bit more of a family, like a lot more of a family-oriented team than just like teammates. And them being older, the only difference is that they have the experience. And like whether I'm going through something or like I'm going through new challenges, like they always got some word of advice and something to help me go through it. But as far as like what was like being younger, like on like an older team, like really no difference because like they just welcome us all like we're all the same age, you know? Like, no one gets treated different because they're younger or because they're older. Like, everyone just comes together and we just make it work.
Oh, that was such a fun conversation. And shoot, man, he's been such a big part of this Husker wrestling. He's fun to watch. I know he's really exciting for fans to get to see, but I had never chatted with him before, and he's just got such a fun personality, so enjoyed that conversation.
He's got a chance to be a Big Ten champ, a chance to maybe be an NCAA champ. It'll be fun to follow. Huskers at home, Sunday, Illinois, 2 o'clock at the Devaney Center. Love to see a big crowd out there. Hey, folks, Woodhouse Auto Family, they are your trusted auto partner. 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. Back with more of the show coming up.
There's no community like a Cenex community, and that's why every Cenex store is so proud to serve theirs by supporting local athletic teams, promoting the arts, and making sure each store is a place its neighbors can find what they need, catch up with their friends, and stay connected. It's also why we give back, helping to make the wonderful places we call home the best they can be. Your local Cenex doesn't just work in your town, it lives there. The store next door, powered locally at Cenex.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks to help grow businesses, communities, families, a legacy of capability and technology that's made Ford F-Series America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. This is the next generation of Built Ford Tough.
Now, get 1.9% financing for 72 months on a new 2023 Ford F-150 only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
For farmers, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. And at Valley, we feel the same, delivering game-changing technology and irrigation solutions that advance agricultural productivity, with the results to prove it. From our leading irrigation technology to expert advice, you can always rely on Valley to bring out the best in your farm. At Valley, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
Woodhouse has got you covered for your next car, truck, or SUV. We are committed to making the car buying and owning experience better, thanks to our knowledgeable sales staff and factory certified technicians. You can discover our large inventory of new and pre-owned vehicles anytime at woodhouse.com, where we have made buying a car easier than ever. Whether you need a family hauling SUV, a car to take you around town, or a hard-working truck, Woodhouse has something for everyone.
Noddle Companies is proud to support Husker Athletics. As a leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Sunny's at Exarban, and Row House Townhomes on Leavenworth. Noddle Companies is adding Omaha's first hybrid timber building to the skyline. Soon to follow is Builders Green Park, surrounded by mouth-watering food, exciting retail, and a hub of thriving businesses. Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Go Huskers!
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Former Husker basketball standout and professional basketball player Stephon Bradford is hosting tryouts for his AAU basketball program, Lifeline Elite Sports. The next tryout for grades 2 through 8 boys and girls teams is this Saturday, February 3rd from 6 to 9 p.m. in Omaha at Brownwell Talbot School. High school tryouts coming in March. For more information, visit Lifeline Elite Sports on social media. To sign up for tryouts, go to lifelineelitesports.com. That's lifelineelitesports.com.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks to help grow businesses, communities, families, a legacy of capability and technology that's made Ford F-Series America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. This is the next generation of Built Ford Tough.
Now, get 1.9% financing for 72 months on a new 2023 Ford F-150 only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Get ready again for some Nebraska farm facts. When there's work to be done, Nebraska soybeans are on the job in many of your everyday products. In fact, Nebraska soybeans are hard at work in Goodyear tires, Ford cars and trucks, Skechers shoes, asphalt, fuels, lubricants, name brand paints and stains, and more. Soybeans are an innovative replacement for petroleum, leading to more sustainable products all over the world. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
That's the best way I could describe how it felt for me when I would walk out of either the casino or the Keno parlor, is that you just felt that wave of heat, that wave of oppression kind of hit you, that wave of dread.
Mike is a former problem gambler.
Right away, you would always know that that drive home would be the worst moments of why. Why did I do this again? Why can't I stop this?
Help for problem gambling is free for Nebraskans and their families at lifeafterbet.com.
Hey Huskers, it's a new day in Nebraska. Manzer Equipment, Mertz Farm Equipment, and West Point Implement of Columbus have teamed up as True Ag and Turf. Coach Rule is bringing innovation and high-performance standards to Husker football, and True Ag is doing the same to your farm with game-changing Fendt equipment. As Big Red establishes power on the field, True Ag and Turf does the same in the field by welcoming Fendt to Nebraska.
Former Husker basketball standout and professional basketball player Stephon Bradford is hosting tryouts for his AAU basketball program, Lifeline Elite Sports. The next tryout for grades 2 through 8 boys and girls teams is this Saturday, February 3rd from 6 to 9 p.m. in Omaha at Brownwell Talbot School. High school tryouts coming in March. For more information, visit Lifeline Elite Sports on social media. To sign up for tryouts, go to lifelineelitesports.com. That's lifelineelitesports.com.
We're back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe Jessica Coody with you. Camden and the ticker mentioned John Walker gets his contract extended. Well-deserved. What a run Husker soccer had. They were co-champs of the Big Ten. They made it to the Elite Eight, one of the best soccer seasons we've had here in a long time. So well-deserved for John, the only coach that program has ever had.
Yeah, and you think about it, yes, they're losing a couple of key contributors. One of those is a big one in Eleanor Dale. That's a pretty young team with some young talent that you want to keep together. And again, in this day and age, a lot of times if a head coach leaves, if you're not careful with how that happens, then that allows people or pushes people to maybe want to explore the transfer portal. So he's got a good squad coming back out off of that Elite Eight finish, and a lot of that too is just getting that experience right in the postseason.
Huge.
As the first experience that group had. So congratulations, and yes, so well deserving. And I love that Trev has rewarded coaches when that happens. You know, we saw that with Coach Ravel.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen it a few times that when they've come off good seasons, he gives them that reward. And so certainly Coach Walker is deserving of that.
And you mentioned Eleanor Dale. She signed this week with Everton, which is a premier soccer club in England, which is where she's from. She's just a terrific player, and we were also blessed to be able to follow her amazing campaign this past fall.
I wonder if she'll be with have a chance to compete in the Olympics.
For England,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
I think she'll have a shot. Folks, you can win a 2024 Porsche from Porsche of Omaha. We're punting for these Porsches during halftime of men's basketball games. If you want to become a contestant, go to huskers.com/putt. We're back to wrap up hour one next.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks to help grow businesses, communities, families. A legacy of capability and technology that's made Ford F-Series America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. This is the next generation of Built Ford Tough.
Now, get 1.9% financing for 72 months on a new 2023 Ford F-150 only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Farming today is a combination of hard work, innovation, and partnerships to help keep us moving forward. Sapp Brothers Petroleum has provided us with fuel, propane, and lubricants on the farm for many years.
For over 52 years, Sapp Brothers has been a reliable partner to thousands of farmers across our great state. We work hard to make sure our customers have the most reliable supply, provided in the safest manner and at the most competitive price. Trust Sapp Brothers Petroleum to protect your equipment and keep your farm fueled. Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics and to serve Nebraska farmers and Husker fans across America's heartland.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. Throughout my football career, chiropractic care helped my athletic performance on the field and kept me in the game. Today, regular chiropractic care keeps me healthy and active to do the things I love. Chiropractic is safe and effective for all ages. Make chiropractic your first choice to reduce pain, improve your mobility, and feel better naturally. It works for me, and it can work for you too. Learn more at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
T&L Irrigation Company knows their way around a field and across it, into the corners, and even through storms. T&L engineers are constantly working on solutions producers need, like the new gooseneck cradle corner system attachment. It greatly improves corner span stability to tackle steep terrain and stand up to high winds. If you're looking to upgrade your corner system or add on new, call your T&L Irrigation dealer today or visit TLIRR.com to learn more. T&L, like no other.
Did I forget something?
No, just wanted to tell you I love you. Oh, don't forget to buckle up. Drive safe.
I will. Love you too.
Someone is counting on you to buckle up. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you. I was over in Husker Vision earlier today. We shot the Fred Hoiberg TV show, which will air Sunday nights. Great feature that you put together with Sam. So we're going to have that for you. Great young guy. But somebody goes, oh, Eli Rice, his arm's in a sling. I go, no, Eli rolled his ankle. Fred said in pregame that he rolled his ankle. He goes, somebody's in a sling. And I go, well, show me the video. And it was Isaiah Roby. Isaiah Roby's back in town, and he is hurt right now. He's with the Philadelphia 76ers, I believe, is where he's playing right now. So Isaiah Roby was in the locker room after the game last night. That's kind of cool.
He is such a fantastic human being, like such a great guy.
Great kid.
So that was like my second interview I ever did when I was here.
Oh, is that right?
And it was one of the first things I did. I went out he had a camp out here, and I went and talked to him, and it was kind of a lengthy sit down, and he was so great. And then I've seen him a couple times since then, and he always is so nice. It's like, I don't even know if he remembers me, but it's like he does, and he's so kind, and he loves coming back, and to me, I think that also speaks volumes about this culture and the program. And Coach Hoiberg didn't even coach him, and he wants to come back and still be a part of it.
Yeah. You know, Delano Banton, I don't think has been back since he played the 1 year here and is off to the NBA. Bryce, the McGowans come back a lot.
All the time.
Bryce has a camp here, like in a week or so. He's putting on a camp, and not this next week, but I think it's the All-Star week for the NBA. He's coming back to do a camp. How about that?
Yeah, and I think that's when they both came back during the All-Star break.
All-Star, that's what I meant, All-Star break.
So, that's with the G League, which is Trey is playing in too. They have the same All-Star break, and so I think they use that. That's when they came back last year, but they come back a lot, and they just love it here.
Somehow, I think it's Bryce has been communicating with Dylan Raiola. What would that connection be? I mean, I think Dylan has said, yeah, I've been getting texts from Bryce. So Bryce, I think, in that speaks volumes. I mean, those two McGowans were here for a couple of years, but they
Bryce
just
is here
love
for 1 year.
Right.
Yeah.
And Trey was here too.
Yeah.
But they just love this community. It's great.
They really do. I'm sure it was social media involved, and hey, text me anytime, and then that's how that went. But really cool.
Nice stuff. All right, good first hour. Wonderful to hear from Lenny Pinto. Next hour, we're going to hear Jessica's Wednesday Women's Podcast, and we'll talk men's gym. Chuck Chmelka with us, and winners and losers. Camden is ready. I am not. I got to do some more work on who my winners and losers will be. We'll have all that for you coming up in hour number 2 of our Friday show, our smorgasbord show of Sports Nightly. Come on back. Have some fun.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
A few drinks at home after work, a couple of hits at a party with some friends, over-the-counter drugs for a minor illness. a new daily prescription, and you're not quite sure how it makes you feel. It doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If it impairs you, driving becomes deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Hey Huskers, it's a new day in Nebraska. Manzer Equipment, Mertz Farm Equipment, and West Point Implement of Columbus have teamed up as True Ag and Turf. Coach Rule is bringing innovation and high-performance standards to Husker football, and True Ag is doing the same to your farm with game-changing Fendt equipment. As Big Red establishes power on the field, True Ag and Turf does the same in the field by welcoming Fendt to Nebraska.
Noddle Companies is proud to support Husker Athletics. As a leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Sunnyside Exarban, and row house townhomes on Leavenworth. Noddle Companies is adding Omaha's first hybrid timber building to the skyline. Soon to follow is Builders Green Park, surrounded by mouth-watering food, exciting retail, and a hub of thriving businesses. Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Go Huskers!
Start your next journey with Woodhouse. Our commitment extends beyond just selling cars. We offer an unparalleled car buying experience that allows you to shop and buy all online. Explore an array of new brands, makes, and models, as well as our large selection of pre-owned vehicles. And it's easy to get started today with our streamlined purchasing process online, granting you the freedom to secure your next vehicle anytime, anywhere. Discover a better way to buy with Woodhouse.
Good evening, I'm Camden Cohn, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the 1890 Initiative. Late last night, the Nebraska men's basketball team came back from down as many as 19 points to defeat the 6th-ranked Wisconsin Badgers 80-72. Huskers were led by C.J. Wilcher as he tied his career high with 22 points, including 5 3-pointers, and Rink Mast added 20 points in the upset. After the win, Coach Hoiberg spoke to the media about how proud he was of the team in the second half.
We jumped them at halftime. I mean, that's about as animated as I've been at a halftime. And, to their credit, they came out and responded. And that's what it's all about. You got to find a way to bounce back when things aren't going your way. We have not done that in the road at all. We're not going to have 15,000 behind us when we go to Champaign in a couple days. So we got to find a way on the road to generate that same type of energy when things aren't going well. As I've said, we've gone the other way when things have gotten tough. And, we're going to have to find a way, and hopefully this gives us some confidence to know that we can do it.
Huskers will be back in action Sunday at 5:30 in Champaign against Illinois, with pregame starting at 4:30 on the HRN. In other Husker news, Nebraska women's soccer coach John Walker has received a contract extension through the 2027 season. Athletic Director Trev Alberts had this to say on Coach Walker, quote, "We are fortunate to have a leader like Coach Walker in charge of our soccer program. John and his team had a remarkable season in 2023, reaching the Elite Eight and earning a share of the Big Ten Conference Championship. His teams play with toughness, tenacity, and teamwork, which is a testament to his leadership," end quote. Former Husker player and coach Barrett Ruud has been named the inside linebackers coach of the Atlanta Falcons. Ruud coached linebackers at Nebraska from 2018 to 2022, and he joins new head coach Raheem Morris in Atlanta. Finally, just one Big Ten men's basketball game tonight. They're about ready to start the second half in Iowa City as Ohio State leads Iowa 38-36. Our sports ticker is sponsored by the 1890 Initiative. Do you want to support Husker student athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com. Hour 2 of Sports Nightly up next, right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
It's Williams, a drop step, reverse layup with a left hand, and Mast is just dissecting Edey early in this game.
Deep left wing, Chaz Shelley to take the lead. You betcha! Shelley bombed a triple from the left wing and a big red lead at 36-34.
On the right side to Hoiberg, right to left, top of the circle, reverses it off the CJ. Three is good! Got it! Bang! All right! CJ Wilcher is on fire!
Goes off the bounce, goes behind your back, works foul line, Potts for three, top of the key. You betcha! Natalie Potts, the Big Ten Freshman of the Week with a triple.
15 on the shot clock. Now he comes to the left side after spinning away from Barry. High post on a pop out to Mast. 9 on the shot clock. The handoff on the shot by Tominaga. Got it! Got it! Bang! Bang! Bang-a-ring! They say Tominaga!
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Here we are back for hour number 2 of our Friday night show. It's our last hour of the week. And so we're going to have some fun here in the next 60 minutes. We talked in hour 1 about that amazing comeback by the Huskers last night, down 18 at one point to come back and beat the Badgers, their second top 10 win of the year. It was thrilling. Husker women back on the hardwood tomorrow, PBA, 2 o'clock against Rutgers, who's at the bottom of the barrel in the Big Ten Conference, 1:30 for pregame coverage. It is a really busy weekend in Lincoln for Husker sports. You've got the Frank Savine indoor track and field meet, which started today, is still going on day 1, full day tomorrow. They've got a great field. Bader's got some athletes here, Kansas, Washington. So there's some really good track and field athletes. We had Coach St. Clair on the other night. He says, we got a handful of Olympians who will be competing this weekend at the Devaney Center. So that's fun. You got women's basketball tomorrow, wrestling on Sunday, men's gym tomorrow night. We're going to hear from Chuck Chmelka a little bit later. This is their first home meet of the year as well. So a lot of things to do this weekend, even though the Husker men are out of town for their game on Sunday.
In women's basketball, did you mention that?
I did.
Yeah. Yeah, lots of fun stuff to do right here.
Good stuff happening. Well, you've launched a week or two ago a Wednesday women's podcast, and this week you dove into somebody who's kind of an unsung hero of the volleyball program.
Yeah, so I got to go back to when I was doing the dig in the fall. I had a couple emails from some fans that made the suggestion, and it's just so hard for an athletic trainer in season to find some time like that, just because with student athlete schedules, it's so hard. You got to be ready and available whenever they need to do rehab, all that kind of stuff. So Jolene Emricson just finished up season number 23 with Husker volleyball, and so got a chance to dive into all things athletic training with Husker volleyball. So take me back to when you first get to Nebraska. What did you know about Husker volleyball? What did you quickly learn about Husker volleyball?
I didn't know a whole lot about it. My dad's always been a Husker fan, football fan, so he would always watch, Husker football, and I never thought too much about it. But I remember my first red-white scrimmage in the Coliseum, and it was a full house. I mean, it was sold out. And I remember calling my parents when I got home, and I'm like, it was a red-white scrimmage, and it was sold out. And they're like, oh, that's great. I'm like, no, you don't understand. Like, they were playing each other. They weren't even playing another team. So it was a definite wow moment, and kind of, it's like, wow, this is something special, and I'm a part of something now, and where this is going to go. And it was a pretty amazing experience.
What were those matches like in the Coliseum?
They're intense. I miss being in the Coliseum, and just the roar of the crowd around you. I mean, they were just on top of you. And, I remember sitting on the bench, and people would walk behind, and the floor would kind of move as they came behind you because they were just so close to you. And, you'd come out of there and your ears were just ringing. It was such a great environment, and it was so fun to see how the fans got into it, and they really understood the game. And I don't think I'd ever experienced that before in that type of setting.
Absolutely. When you talk about when you first started and where athletic training was, what are some of the biggest changes of how things have evolved and how you are taking care of athletes from then to now?
I think research and practical things have brought us to where we are. A lot of the new technologies that we have, a lot of things that make the athletes feel good, that are more accessible. It is a lot different now because it is so accessible to the student athlete, and the student athletes are contacted by different companies for NIL, and instead of going through us, where we would bring in something new, I may see it from an athlete first, which definitely changes kind of how things are done, but not in a negative way. I think it benefits the athlete all the way around.
Yeah. You were saying, too, prevention is a big part of it now, too. What goes into maybe preventing those injuries as opposed to treating those injuries?
Well, I like to look at it, a lot of times we're correcting faulty movement patterns. And a lot of times the athletes are like, well, I've been doing it this way my whole career. Why is it bothering me now? It's like your body can only do something wrong for so long. And then it's going to say, hey, wait, I can't do this anymore. And it's going to let you know that. And so a lot of times with an injury, we're kind of breaking it down and correcting those faulty patterns. But we like to get them when they first come in as freshmen and look at their movement patterns, and we do some testing on them, and we try to see what is already happening that could potentially create an injury in the future. And so we try to put together programs in order to prevent something from happening. They're here to play volleyball, not to spend their time with me in the training room. It's the double edge of my job. As much as I like to hang out and spend time with them, they're here to play volleyball, and we try to do everything we can so that their time is spent on the court and enjoying that part of it and being able to be healthy with that. So Brian, our strength coach, and I work a lot together in what the athletes are doing. I have my rehab side of it, and then when we put them into the weight room, and the program that a freshman will start with down in the weight room is a little different than what the other athletes who've already been here and who are established. So we like to make sure that their movement patterns are in a good place before we start trying to put weight on them or muscle on them, so that we're giving them the best possible outcome that they can have so they can continue to play successfully.
So they want to compete, right? They want to be out there, but injuries are inevitable. How do you balance making sure that, hey, we are not, I guess, setting ourselves up for further injury, but also understanding that they really want to be back out there? I mean, just that fine line of wanting to be able to be out there and compete for their teams, but then also, hey, let's not risk further injury.
Yeah, that's usually a hard topic with the athlete because they wouldn't be here if they didn't have that personality of, I want to be on that court no matter what.
Yeah.
So it is that, hey, we need to take a step back, and if this is causing you pain, we want to make sure that we get that taken care of so that you can finish out the season without any problems. Or if this is something that is preventing you from playing, maybe we need to look, is there something else going on here? Like maybe we need to do some diagnostic checks on it. But that's a hard conversation to have with the athlete, and it's the mental side of it is huge when an injury comes into play, because we can do everything on the physical side, but they've got to be in the right headspace to, okay, I need to work and focus on this right now so that then I can get back out on the court and be the best that I can be. And it's important to do those foundational things to get back out there. So it is kind of a fine line of, can they continue to compete and participate with the pain or what they're feeling? Is it safe for them to do that? Or is it time we need to take a step back, take them out of some things and allow them to heal and get them where they need to be so that they're pain-free?
Have you found athletes have become more accepting maybe of, okay, coming in to see you immediately when things start, I guess, you know, when you talk about the prevention and the evolution of an athlete and realizing that it's much more than just getting in the gym and spending extra time, but understanding that part of it, the rehab, hey, I'm maybe feeling a little bit here or this, can you take a look at this? I mean, has that evolved too with the athlete in the sport?
Yes and no. It kind of depends on the athlete when they come in.
Yeah.
A lot of times the freshmen, when they get here, they're trying to prove that they should be here, so they don't want to say something if something's bothered them, because they feel like, well, if I'm not out there, you know, they're going to think I'm not putting in the time and the effort that I need to in order to be part of this team. And so it's having that conversation of, hey, they've all had to go through this too. It's okay to miss a couple of workouts or miss a couple of practices so that we can get you feeling better. And believe me, they've all had to have those moments too. Not everybody comes through here and has a breeze through their entire career while they're here. So it really depends on the athlete, but they're also gaining their trust in me at that time and understanding what I do and what I'm there to help them with, and being proactive on that side. So sometimes it does get to the point where they're feeling it, where I do have to step in and pull them out before they will truly do something about it. But yeah, it can be a difficult situation at first, but once they understand it, then it's usually not an issue.
Huh, fascinating. So that first national championship, you've been a part of multiple conference championships, national championships, some special teams. That first one, what was that like being a part of that first national championship?
That was a great team. That team really had to kind of come together. We were, you know, we didn't have a huge roster, and we had dealt with some injuries and things, and so everybody really just kind of pulled together. I remember that season because we didn't have a lot, you know, of people who come off the bench. It was, if you guys feel anything, you need to let me know, because we really need to stay on top of it, because we can't afford to lose anybody at this point. And I think after the 2005 season where we lost to Washington, it was just a heartbreaker, and everybody came back just focused and knew what they wanted, and to be a part of that, it was incredible. I mean, that's something that I never thought I would be a part of, you know, going into this field, or probably growing up and watching sports. It was like, wow, that'd be so cool to be a part of that, or I wonder what that experience is like. And to actually get to be a part of it was pretty special. So every one of them is special, you know.
You know, you had talked about the sellout in the Coliseum and being wowed by that, but you look at where this program has come and everything just that we saw last year. Was there ever a moment throughout your career you're like, wow, I'm a part of something real special here?
I think I feel that all the time. You know, it's just, you know, there's those moments where you it's a big match, and you just feel the crowd and hear the crowd, and you look up, and it's just people everywhere. There's not an empty space, and you just think to yourself, this is pretty amazing, and not a lot of people get to experience this and be able to experience it from my perspective. So yeah, I've been very thankful for that and appreciative of being able to be a part of this team and the opportunities that I've had because of this team.
That's amazing. What's been your perspective of Coach Cook and where he was when you first started working for him and where he is now, and how he's evolved as a coach and been able to stay so successful as a head coach?
Coach he's evolved quite a bit since my first years here, and I think he's relaxed a little bit more and worked on his relationships with the players, and it's trying to stay ahead of things and seeing what's happening kind of in the world and with this age and what age it may be through the years, and just adapting with that and reaching out to people to help him with that. He hasn't been afraid of that, and just having that growth mindset is huge, and he's not afraid of that, and I think that's really been able to bring him to where he is now.
Yeah, that was Jolene Emricson as a part of this week's Husker Women's Wednesday conversation, and that was only just a portion of it. You can catch the full episode out now on all of our podcast platforms or on our YouTube channel, and powered by Emeritus. Emeritus is proud to power Husker Women's Wednesday and all of women's athletics.
She's had a front row seat to an amazing run, national titles, conference championships, bundles of All-Americans. I mean, she has seen so much Husker volleyball history.
Yeah, one of the things I found interesting, I was walking in to the Devaney Center the other day for an event and was talking to Jalen Reyes. He said, make sure you talk to her about how much she understands the sport of volleyball, which sometimes you don't really think about, but just how important that is, understanding how you treat, how you can even recognize when there might be a problem, but just how she's learned the sport and understands it and how beneficial that is to this team.
Good stuff. All right. We'll look forward to seeing the rest of that interview on those podcast platforms.
And again, if you have suggestions of who you want to hear from, send them in. Happy to take suggestions, and any and all women that you want to hear from here at Nebraska.
Great. Folks, you could win a 2024 Porsche from Porsche of Omaha this season. Husker fans are going to get a chance to make a full court putt at halftime of men's basketball games. If you want some information or to figure out how to get yourself registered, go to huskers.com/putt. All right, when we come back, we'll talk men's gym. They have their home opener tomorrow night with Penn State. Chuck Chmelka will be here next.
Let's face it, nothing makes you look older than you really are than thinning hair. But what if you could not only increase your hair count, but promote new hair growth without surgery, without drugs with potential side effects, and without a prescription from your doctor? Well, now you can, thanks to a breakthrough new supplement called Hair Grow, provided by New Nordic, the #1 supplier of dietary supplements in Europe. Hair Grow is now available in the U.S. Only Hair Grow contains Tocogaya, a powerful antioxidant that has received a U.S. patent. Multiple clinical studies show Hair Grow is safe and effective in promoting new hair growth. In one study, 95% of the patients using Hair Grow saw increased hair count. Don't lose more time and more hair. Try Hair Grow today to feel and look your best. Just go to newnordicusa.com or visit Walgreens or Amazon to purchase. Look younger and feel more confident with Hair Grow by New Nordic at newnordicusa.com.
Maybe your hometown celebrates long-standing Swiss traditions. Cow chip throwing. Or even classic car muscle. Everyone has a hometown, and every hometown has a festival. Cenex wants to hear about yours. That's why we're launching the Hometown Throwdown. Tell us about your fest, and it could win $100,000. Learn more at CenexHometownThrowdown.com. Cenex, powered locally.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks to help grow businesses, communities, families, a legacy of capability and technology that's made Ford F-Series America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. This is the next generation of Built Ford Tough.
Now, get 1.9% financing for 72 months on a new 2023 Ford F-150 only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Noddle Companies is proud to support Husker Athletics. As a leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Sunny's at Exarban, and Row House Townhomes on Leavenworth. Noddle Companies is adding Omaha's first hybrid timber building to the skyline. Soon to follow is Builders Green Park, surrounded by mouth-watering food, exciting retail, and a hub of thriving businesses. Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Go Huskers!
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
For farmers, productivity isn't an option. It's everything. And at Valley, we feel the same, delivering game-changing technology and irrigation solutions that advance agricultural productivity, with the results to prove it. From our leading irrigation technology to expert advice, you can always rely on Valley to bring out the best in your farm. At Valley, productivity isn't an option. It's everything. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. Throughout my football career, chiropractic care helped my athletic performance on the field and kept me in the game. Today, regular chiropractic care keeps me healthy and active to do the things I love. Chiropractic is safe and effective for all ages. Make chiropractic your first choice to reduce pain, improve your mobility, and feel better naturally. It works for me, and it can work for you too. Learn more at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
Noddle Companies is proud to support Husker Athletics. As a leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Sunny's at Exarban, and Row House Townhomes on Leavenworth. Noddle Companies is adding Omaha's first hybrid timber building to the skyline. Soon to follow is Builders Green Park, surrounded by mouth-watering food, exciting retail, and a hub of thriving businesses. Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Go Huskers!
There's no community like a Cenex community. And that's why every Cenex store is so proud to serve theirs by supporting local athletic teams, promoting the arts, and making sure each store is a place its neighbors can find what they need, catch up with their friends, and stay connected. It's also why we give back, helping to make the wonderful places we call home the best they can be. Your local Cenex doesn't just work in your town, it lives there. The store next door, powered locally at Cenex.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks to help grow businesses, communities, families, a legacy of capability and technology that's made Ford F-Series America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. This is the next generation of Built Ford Tough.
Now, get 1.9% financing for 72 months on a new 2023 Ford F-150 only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center. It is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Well, tomorrow night, Husker Gymnastics will have their home opener. The men will be taking on the Penn State Nittany Lions, and we're delighted to be joined by Husker men's gym's coach, Chuck Chmelka. How you doing? Everything good, New Earl?
Doing pretty well, sir.
I said
Thank you.
I go, I'm not doing as well as you are.
Yeah, we're doing pretty well. So far, so good anyway.
You've only competed once, and here we are. We flipped the calendar into February, but you put up a big number, a 409.6, I think is what you did at Rocky Mountain. That's a big number, Coach.
Yes, that's our highest start score we've ever had, and we're awfully proud how well we did. We just got to build from it now.
You've got a really interesting blend, and when people come out to see you at the Devaney Center on Saturday night, they're going to recognize some names, and then there's going to be some names that they're not familiar with. You've got to like the makeup of this team. Talk about the kind of the group as a whole.
They're a wonderful team. They are very good, top to bottom, seniors to freshmen. I could not be more proud of our freshman class. The sophomores are much improved. The juniors are much improved. And, of course, the seniors with Taylor Christophilus and Sam Phillips, those guys had a great summer, traveled the world, and really benefited from their international experience that they were able to get over the summer. And even Toby Liang, he and I went to Japan for a training camp, and that was a wonderful experience. And I think all our guys are building off these guys being able to travel and see what other top athletes are doing.
Taylor's been such a dominant gymnast really for several years now. You mentioned the international experience. He's part of that Team USA that went to the Pan Am Games and got a gold. You can't replace that, can you, that kind of experience?
No, you practice every day in the gym, and just one day over there equaled a year of what we do. It's just amazing. Training with the top athletes in the world, not just the U.S., the world. It was immeasurable what he learned.
Cole Partridge has already picked up a nice honor. He got the CGA Rookie of the Week honors after your event out in Colorado. You told me before we started, it could have been one or two or three of your guys that had got that award.
We had a wonderful recruiting class, and the boys, yes, you're correct there. We could have had three possibly Rookie of the Years. Cole was on fire. He stuck everything he did. He was top three on both events he did, and he just saluted the judge and like was competing at home. Nothing fazed him. He was on fire, and it was awesome to watch. The guys, the older guys, everybody they were just hugging him and jumping up and down. It was a lot of fun.
Fantastic. You talked about great recruiting class that are now freshmen that are here. How much is the new facility helping you with that?
A lot.
Is it?
Yes, yeah. It really is, because these kids now, they can see how much improvement our existing guys have had. And when we recruit these kids and talk to their parents, we'll say, you guys, we have the top training gym in the country, and it shows. Look how much Taylor improved. Look how much Toby improved. Everybody. And it's not the coaches. It's not the kids. Well, it is the kids, but it's also that facility. We're able to do so much more in the same time frame where before we would get on the apparatus twice. Now we're on it 10 times. And it's safe. It's just a wonderful gym. We're so lucky to get it.
All right, let's talk Penn State. What kind of challenge will this be Saturday night?
Oh, it'll be a challenge. They're very good. They're very well coached, very disciplined. They have some really talented guys. They have not put up the scores yet, but they probably will Saturday. Usually that's how it works. And they're good. I have them number 5 in the country. I think they might be 6 or something now, but we have to be ready to go. We can't just start off slow and stumble around the floor. We have to get out there and bang out some really good routines and just get the momentum going in our favor.
Visiting with Husker men's gymnastics coach Chuck Chmelka here on Sports Nightly. Put into perspective the 409 opening score for people that maybe follow it but don't quite know what a 409 means in the realm of things. You mentioned it's the highest opening score you've ever had. Just kind of for our audience, what does a 409 mean?
It took us to the last meet of the year last year to get that high. Stanford won the national championship with a 420.
Wow.
We feel we could go 423 this year.
Boy, I'm getting chills thinking about that.
I'm not saying we're going to win anything, but I'm saying we have some potential to do very great things.
Is there a certain event that you feel like is a strength of your team, and is there an event that you got to keep getting better as you make your way through this season?
Yes, for the first time ever, we go by the start values and then how good our form is and toe point and legs and everything to come up with our score. Well, on vaulting, we have all 5 guys with a 15.2 start for the first time ever. Last year we had 3 or 4 of the guys, depending on who was in the lineup. But this year, and they're good, vaulting is so much improved for our team. Still rings, we still need a little work on. We have talent there. We have the potential to do real well, but that's still our lowest event. So we'll keep working hard there.
You mentioned lineup. Is it getting difficult to fill that out for you, meet after meet?
Yes, it's really difficult. And Rocky Mountain Open, we were pretty lucky because it was an open meet and a qualifier for the Winter Cup Challenge coming up in February. So we were able to compete 3 guys in an individual category and then our 15. So we competed 18 guys, and we got to narrow that down to 15 or less this week, and it's going to be very difficult because we have so many guys doing so well, and they deserve to compete, and they will, but some are going to and some aren't.
Is Taylor the only one doing the all-around for you?
No. Toby did it and qualified for the Winter Cup. Sam Phillips is an all-arounder. Max Odden, freshman. Alex Natashi. Asher Cohen. We have probably more all-arounders than we've ever had also. Now, with that being said, though, they probably will not do the all-around so we can compete more guys early in the year, and then by middle season, we'll figure out really what we're going to do with the lineup and really get after that.
Well, you didn't have a home meet in January. You got a couple here in February, starting with Penn State on Saturday night, and then I know you've got the Army Greenville tri-meet coming up in a few weeks. I know you'd love to see a big crowd out there to support these guys that work so hard, and they're really good.
Yes, I would love it. We have a nice crowd, but I would love a great crowd, and I guarantee you fans, you will enjoy yourself. If you come and watch us, I promise you, you'll have fun and you'll want to come back. Taylor's trying out for the Olympic Games. You are seeing Olympic caliber athletes do men's gymnastics, and I promise you, you won't go home unhappy. It will be fun.
6 o'clock Saturday night at the Devaney Center. Penn State's the challenge, and then a week away, here comes Michigan. I know I know you'll be fired up for that week as well.
We're already, that's in the back of our head already. I know you're not supposed to look ahead, but they are so good, so deep. We just got to figure out who's going to do the best for us when that meet hits.
Good luck filling out that lineup card, Coach.
Thank you, sir.
I don't envy you.
It's a nice problem to have, I do got to say, but yeah, it's difficult for sure.
Well, congrats on a great opening event to start the season, and good luck against those Lions.
Thank you, Greg. Appreciate it.
Chuck Chmelka with us here on Sports Sunday. We're back with more coming up next.
Don't miss out on limited-time appliance deals during the closeout event at Lowe's. Get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, save an extra $100 when you spend $999 or more on all major appliances. Hurry, these deals are too good to last long. Shop in-store or online today, because Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid 1/4 through 1/24. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for details.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks to help grow businesses, communities, families. A legacy of capability and technology that's made Ford F-Series America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. This is the next generation of Built Ford Tough.
Now, get 1.9% financing for 72 months on a new 2023 Ford F-150 only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Noddle Companies is proud to support Husker Athletics. As a leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Sunnyside-Exarban, and Row House Townhomes on Leavenworth. Noddle Companies is adding Omaha's first hybrid timber building to the skyline. Soon to follow is Builders Green Park, surrounded by mouth-watering food, exciting retail, and a hub of thriving businesses. Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Go Huskers!
I just remember leaving that day feeling absolutely exhausted. I was sick and tired of living that double life.
Mike is a former problem gambler.
The anxiety, the depression is real. You start thinking about the money, where that could have went to. It's never enough. I could win $10 million today, and I'd go back and try to win 20 tomorrow.
Help for problem gambling is free for Nebraskans and their families at lifeafterbet.com.
Get ready to rule the field and revolutionize your farming game with Valley, the game changer in irrigation and ag tech solutions. With time and labor-saving measures, ground-truthing results, and effective input reduction, Valley provides the perfect game plan so you stay ahead of what's in the field. From the best in irrigation and cutting-edge ag tech solutions to personalized support, Valley is your winning team. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Former Husker basketball standout and professional basketball player Stephon Bradford is hosting tryouts for his AAU basketball program, Lifeline Elite Sports. The next tryout for grades 2 through 8 boys and girls teams is this Saturday, February 3rd from 6 to 9 p.m. in Omaha at Brownwell Talbot School. High school tryouts coming in March. For more information, visit Lifeline Elite Sports on social media. To sign up for tryouts, go to lifelineelitesports.com. That's lifelineelitesports.com.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks to help grow businesses, communities, families, a legacy of capability and technology that's made Ford F-Series America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. This is the next generation of Built Ford Tough.
Now, get 1.9% financing for 72 months on a new 2023 Ford F-150 only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
That's the best way I could describe how it felt for me when I would walk out of either the casino or the Keno parlor, is that you just felt that wave of heat, that wave of oppression kind of hit you, that wave of dread.
Mike is a former problem gambler.
Right away, you would always know that that drive home would be the worst moments of why. Why did I do this again? Why can't I stop this?
Help for problem gambling is free for Nebraskans and their families at lifeafterbet.com.
Woodhouse has got you covered for your next car, truck, or SUV. We are committed to making the car buying and owning experience better, thanks to our knowledgeable sales staff and factory certified technicians. You can discover our large inventory of new and pre-owned vehicles anytime at woodhouse.com, where we have made buying a car easier than ever. Whether you need a family hauling SUV, a car to take you around town, or a hard-working truck, Woodhouse has something for everyone.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska exists to be there with you. From the first bell to final exams, they are rooting for the schools and teachers who make our communities great. Throughout the year, Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska and Nebraska Athletics will be honoring outstanding educators who help Nebraska's students reach their potential. If there's a teacher you want to recognize for the impact they've made in your community, find a nomination form at huskers.com/teachers.
Former Husker basketball standout and professional basketball player Stephon Bradford is hosting tryouts for his AAU basketball program, Lifeline Elite Sports. The next tryout for grades 2 through 8 boys and girls teams is this Saturday, February 3rd from 6 to 9 p.m. in Omaha at Brownwell Talbot School. High school tryouts coming in March. For more information, visit Lifeline Elite Sports on social media. To sign up for tryouts, go to lifelineelitesports.com. That's lifelineelitesports.com.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres. They are the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Happy Groundhog Day, everybody. Hope today, Punxsutawney Phil, I think we're going to get some updates on that in our winners and losers category.
Did he see his shadow?
He did not, right, Camden? Did not. So I don't know what that means, but
so he didn't see his shadow, so he's out, which means early spring.
Early spring, yeah.
All right.
Hope he's right.
Me too.
According to Cole, he's only right 38% of the time.
Well, you told me it was fake spring.
It is fake spring.
I hope you're wrong.
So the movie was on. Have you seen the movie with Bill Murray?
Groundhog Day?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Oh, it's a classic movie. He's a weatherman, and he lives the same day over and over and over again. Keeps waking up at the same time. Everybody walks by the same guy to get coffee and all that. It's a really good Bill Murray movie. I would probably put it as one of Bill's better movies. He was obviously very good in Ghostbusters and some of those other ones, but he was really good in that. Speaking of movies, Carl Weathers passed away today. He was Apollo Creed in the Rocky movies. Played football in college. I think he even played a little bit in the NFL. Might play for the Raiders at one point in time. Then he was in The Mandalorian. Some of our younger audience members would remember him. I remember him more from the Rocky movies and Apollo Creed. He was 75, I think, years old today. And he also, he appeared, this is how wide a scope he was, he appeared in the Adam Sandler golfing movie.
Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore.
I know that movie. I've seen that movie.
He had the fake hand.
Oh, nice.
That was him. He was the coach for that. So sad to hear Carl Weathers, but terrific, a good college football player, and then ended up playing a little bit in the NFL as well, and then passed away today at the age of 75. So sad for Carl Weathers, but Crypto King's a big fan of the Groundhog movie. So
I've never seen it, and I actually have never seen any of the Rocky movies either.
Really? Not even the kind of the latest ones called Creed?
No.
That had Michael J. Jordan plays the younger boxer.
I have not.
God, you got that. Those are great sports movies. My gosh, those are incredible.
You should know by now. I'm not really a movie person. How many times do you?
I know.
It's like 85% of the time if people say, "Have you seen this movie?" Even if it's a classic, I have not seen it.
Yeah. So, Groundhog Day today with Punxsutawney Phil trying to see his shadow, and then Carl Weathers. So a couple little actor notes. And, the Weathers appeared in some of those, the golf movie with Adam Sandler, and then obviously the Rocky movies where he was the nemesis initially for Rocky Balboa, and then they became buds, and then they killed him. He died in a boxing match. I think it was Rocky IV. He got the Russian guy got him. So, but yeah, terrific actor. I really enjoyed that. Sorry to see and hear that today come out of that. 4 Hours to Lincoln is saying, Jessica, do yourself a favor and watch the Rocky movies, especially the fifth one. Was the fifth one with, help me out, guys, in the chat room, was the fifth one with Tommy Morrison, the Kansas City-based boxer who came in and Rocky was trying to be a mentor to him? If that's the one, that was not a very good Rocky movie. But the first couple were outstanding. So, yeah, you would like it if you throw back. I bet your dad and your brothers have seen it.
Oh, yeah, they have. I just am not one that I want to sit there for 2 hours. And I don't know. I just have never been like that.
I mean, it had it all. It had the love story with the guy, the underdog, trying to give it a shot. Oh, yeah, Tommy, DR and Malcolm says Tommy Gunn. Yeah, that was. I think that is Rocky V. That was a bad movie. Skip 5. The Creed movies have been pretty good. I think they've been kind of fun to.
What's your all-time favorite sports movie?
Ooh. There's so many good ones. And I think kind of by sport, you pick a different one.
Yeah, I'm always a big fan of Hoosiers. I love
It's a good movie. Remember the Titans was a really good football movie.
Yeah, I love Remember the Titans. And then...
we're getting people going now. They're popping in the text line, the chat. They're all coming in now.
For Love of the Game with baseball.
Good
I like
movie.
that one. I was always Rookie of the Year when I was a kid.
Was that Dennis Quaid? I think
Dennis Quaid was...
Wasn't he the rookie?
No.
He was like a high school teacher, and then he came up and started pitching?
No. That was... I think that was... What was that one? Rookie of the Year was a kid that broke his arm and he had the fast release.
Yeah. That was funny. Yeah, that was a funny movie.
Sandlot's a classic.
DR and Malcolm says that the best of the best. I don't know about Tommy Gunn. Rocky V was, I could do without having to see. The Longest Yard, the Crypto King. Which one? No Crypto. Was it the one with Burt Reynolds as the lead or Adam Sandler as the sequel? Because they did the remake a couple years ago with Adam Sandler kind of playing the bad boy that got put in jail and then led the team. And was it Burt Reynolds? Burt Reynolds was the guy in the initial one. So, yeah. A lot of good. There's so many good sports movies.
Yeah.
Some people feel like Fast and Furious are sports movies.
I
do not. Do you, Camden? Those are like car movies to me, not sports movies.
A movie that my dad really likes and watches it every time it comes on is the Draft Day one.
That's not bad.
Where
underrated.
Yeah.
I agree. Kevin Costner was in that.
Were you a fan of Moneyball?
Like Moneyball? Yeah.
I thought that one was pretty fascinating.
Brad Pitt played the lead in that.
Yeah.
That was good, yeah. Yeah, Crypto says I figured you would go with the Burt Reynolds one, not the Adam. Well, Burt was in both. Actually, he was the older guy in the Adam Sandler based movie of The Longest Yard. So yeah,
Friday Night Lights.
Friday Night Lights was good. I love the TV show.
Yeah,
love the TV show. And by the way, if you have Peacock, if you've gotten Peacock for these Big Ten games, they do show Friday Night Lights. I think even Netflix might have Friday Night Lights as well. Well,
Miracle was good.
Miracle was very good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very good. So when you say sports movie, it's hard because you can go with a baseball or a basketball or a football or different. There's just so many different avenues out there that
I pulled up a
jump down.
Rolling Stone article, top 10 sports movies.
I bet I've seen most of them. I would think I probably have.
Let's see what they have at number 1 here. I'm almost there. Let's see. 5 is Caddyshack.
Yeah, and which was another Bill Murray movie who was in Groundhog Day.
4 is Raging Bull.
Boxy movie.
3 is The Bad News Bears.
Yep, Walter Matthau.
2 is Rocky in 1976.
Yeah, that was the original. Yeah, that's.
And then 1 is Hoop Dreams. I've watched it, but I can't remember about what it.
Yeah, Hoop Dreams was. I almost feel like that was more of a documentary.
Yeah, it was. It's a documentary.
Yeah, I think that was a documentary. So, all right. We've done enough of this. We have saved some time for winners and losers. This is a summertime topic, people. Movies and sports. This is a June or July program, not right now. So I got to cut you all off on that. Hey, Woodhouse Auto Family, they're your trusted auto partner. 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. We're back with everybody's winners and losers next.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks, foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
It's time for some Nebraska farm facts. Want to know a fast way to rev up our Nebraska economy while helping the planet? It's right in your tank. When you fill up with clean soy-based biodiesel, you're increasing Nebraska biodiesel production while reducing greenhouse gases by up to 74%. So look for biodiesel where you fill up. It benefits our air, our economy, and our farmers. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. Throughout my football career, chiropractic care helped my athletic performance on the field and kept me in the game. Today, regular chiropractic care keeps me healthy and active to do the things I love. Chiropractic is safe and effective for all ages. Make chiropractic your first choice to reduce pain, improve your mobility, and feel better naturally. It works for me, and it can work for you too. Learn more at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
For farmers, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. And at Valley, we feel the same, delivering game-changing technology and irrigation solutions that advance agricultural productivity, with the results to prove it. From our leading irrigation technology to expert advice, you can always rely on Valley to bring out the best in your farm. At Valley, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks, foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. Throughout my football career, chiropractic care helped my athletic performance on the field and kept me in the game. Today, regular chiropractic care keeps me healthy and active to do the things I love. Chiropractic is safe and effective for all ages. Make chiropractic your first choice to reduce pain, improve your mobility, and feel better naturally. It works for me, and it can work for you too. Learn more at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
We are back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Time. Winners and losers. Lead us off.
All right. My loser is going to be Patrick Mahomes, but then he was a winner with how he handled it. But did you see the photo that was circulating of him? It was in the locker room after they had won the title, the conference title. And he's got his hat on backwards and his shirt off. And so the dad bod memes starting lighting up social media. Well, he posted on his social media, yo, why they have to do me like that? With a laughy face, hashtag dad bod season. And then he quote tweeted it, like, I got kids. And so he handled it well, but it was pretty funny. It was like all I saw on my timeline forever. But my winner, I mean, I don't know how you go with anybody other than C.J. Wilcher.
Yeah.
I mean, he single-handedly helped turn that thing around last night, and that was a huge win, a much-needed win. And so I know it's a pretty generic and pretty cliche, but I can't give it to anybody else but C.J.
He was the only guy in double figures in the Maryland game last Saturday, and then last night single-handedly got us back in that game. Okay, Camden, I think you've got both yours and Cole's. Is that right?
I do.
All right.
Which one do you want me to start with?
Let's get Cole out of the way.
Okay. Well, Cole's winner was Barrett Ruud and his new job with the Falcons as an inside linebackers coach.
So happy for Barrett. That's awesome. And I think he's a really good coach. I'm glad he's getting a chance. And in the NFL, that's awesome. Fantastic.
All right. And you alluded to this earlier, but Cole's loser is Punxsutawney Phil because he's only been right 39% of the time, according to the article I'm looking at. So,
what about Unadilla, Phil? The one near Lincoln.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Did that one see its shadow?
Either. No, so spring for that one too as well.
Okay, good. All right. What do you have?
All right, my winner, along the same lines as the basketball game, but I'm going to go with Pat Norris. He's the equipment manager for Nebraska men's basketball.
Saw that.
And after the Huskers won the game last night, Juwan Gary threw the ball and ended up in the stands. Norris ran through the people that were storming the court. He secured the ball and then ran back through the crowded court and held onto the ball. So I thought it was an incredible effort on his part.
Yes, and somebody had said there's no way they get the game ball, and he said watch the tape. And so there's a video of him that once he enters the court and goes all the way over there and gets it and runs off. Great winner.
And then my loser is Robert Carpenter. He's a forward on the New Mexico State basketball team. And last night in the game against Liberty, he punched Liberty's Shiloh Robinson.
You seen video of this?
No.
Oh,
yeah, it was
just clubbed a guy running down the court.
Wow.
But Robinson's actually from Kearney, Nebraska as well.
Is that right?
Kind of local ties there, I guess.
Absolutely. I did not know that.
So yeah, it was seemingly out of nowhere, and Carpenter's been suspended indefinitely by the Aggies.
Should be. You can't do that. You can't just unload on a guy in the basketball game. I did not know the young man from Liberty was from Kearney. That's pretty cool. Well, you guys, I'm glad I have to put down multiple winners and losers because you guys usually steal them, and some of you did on these. So I'm going to go. Have you heard Teddy Bridgewater? Just retired. Was the backup quarterback for the Lions. Just retired. He took today the head coaching job at Miami Northwest High School.
That's cool.
Which is where he went to high school. He's now going to go back and be a high school football coach. I think that's great.
Yeah.
Good for Teddy.
Can you imagine being a young athlete and getting to him be your coach?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And Nebraska's been recruiting that area quite a bit. I think we got somebody from Miami Northwest in this recruiting class this past one.
I know they've been hitting that Florida pipeline pretty hard.
They have. And they've got, particularly that Miami area, they've got some Phil Simpson on the staff right now, has a lot of ties to that area. And I think Miami Northwest is a school we visit quite a bit. My losers, people who are complaining about Taylor Swift. Right?
I knew you were going to go with that.
Colin Cowherd, Charles Barkley have put out sensational messaging on all of that. Lighten up, people. Right?
That's why I didn't go with that, because I knew you were going to go with that. So I actually gave you your loser.
It was one of my 2 or 3 that I had down there. Well, that'll do it. Woodhouse is your trusted auto partner. 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying in your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. Have a great weekend. Thanks to Camden. Go Big Red.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Other irrigation companies are finally discovering what T&L Irrigation is known for decades. Continuous movement is the best way to irrigate. While they'll have you pay for complicated upgrades to get steady, even water application with their high-voltage electric systems, all T&L Irrigation pivots and linears are propelled safely and smoothly by powerful hydrostatic drive. Continuous movement isn't new, it's the T&L standard. Don't get talked into a reinvented wheel. Pick the proven original. Call your T&L Irrigation dealer today or visit TLIRR.com. T&L, like no other.
It's time for another round of Nebraska Farm Facts. If there's one thing Nebraska's known for, it's our beef. And Nebraska soybeans feed a lot of them, and even more pigs and chickens. Farmers and ranchers raise livestock and poultry to provide nutritious, affordable protein for all ages to help build muscle and maintain energy for a healthy lifestyle. Keep that in mind as you prepare all that tasty meat on your tailgate grill. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Farming today is a combination of hard work, innovation, and partnerships to help keep us moving forward. Sapp Brothers Petroleum has provided us with fuel, propane, and lubricants on the farm for many years.
For over 52 years, Sapp Brothers has been a reliable partner to thousands of farmers across our great state. We work hard to make sure our customers have the most reliable supply, provided in the safest manner and at the most competitive price. Trust Sapp Brothers Petroleum to protect your equipment and keep your farm fueled. Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics and to serve Nebraska farmers and Husker fans across America's heartland.
Get ready to rule the field and revolutionize your farming game with Valley, the game changer in irrigation and ag tech solutions. With time and labor-saving measures, ground-truthing results, and effective input reduction, Valley provides the perfect game plan so you stay ahead of what's in the field. From the best in irrigation and cutting-edge ag tech solutions to personalized support, Valley